Okay, so one thing I also want to know: do people ever pay their mortgage to zero?
Well, most people pay their mortgage to zero, right? Which, to be honest, it is not ideal. The reason why it is not ideal is this. You see, there are tax implications, and it's not just efficient as well. Let me give you an example. Suppose you are in the process of paying, you want to pay all your mortgage so you can have a house 100%, right? Why is it not a good idea for investment point of view is, when you're paying the mortgage, finishing it off, you're putting your money in, that money is depreciating in value based on inflation.
Yes.
Why the property price goes up. So in essence, any money you're putting in to your property is dead money, because £75,000 will not buy you the same thing in 2 years' time for £75,000. It might be 90 or something like inflation. So any money you put in is dead money. That's one of the disadvantages. Hence the reason we investors, we like to do interest only. Now, why interest only? Interest only is good because that 75,000 is going down in value if it's £100,000 property, right? 75% that they've lent us is £75,000 is going down in value every day. So the only thing we are doing is paying the interest, and that interest is paid by the tenant because they're paying us rent. Okay? And then obviously we can use that money to reinvest elsewhere. Now, the second most important reason why you should never ever pay your mortgage down, especially your investment properties I'm talking here mainly, is this. Suppose you pay off all your mortgage. Okay? You've got your property, you pay all the mortgage, you don't have any debt in that property, right? And you rent that property out and tenant pays you, let's say £1,000 every month, right? Let's say you got £100 expense and all that sort of thing. So you get £900 profit, right? So that profit is gonna get taxed heavily, right? Because it's more money, right? You get taxed heavily, okay? Whereas if it is on interest only, £1,000, you've got a mortgage payment to pay, interest payment, let's say £300 or £400. That then takes you to £600. You've got your £100 running cost, and then guess what? You've got £500 profits to pay on interest. That's another way to think about it. You pay less interest. You pay less tax.
And then you have more money.
You got more money because it forces you to a lower tax bracket. That is if the property is on the company name.
And then
right?
you still have your capital there to appreciate in the future.
You got it. And the other reason why you should never ever pay your debt on your properties, investment properties I'm talking about here, I need to re-emphasize that, is this. So, even some people saying even your home property. So the reason is, in this country, right, if you sadly pass away, touch base, right, that doesn't happen soon, and you've paid off all your mortgages, right, you haven't got any debt whatsoever. Suppose your wife, your son, your daughter, whoever that may be, inherit that property. If they inherit your properties, suppose that property portfolio worth £1 million, right, and all of it is paid off, the government will tax you 40% of the value of that portfolio. In essence, £400,000 will go to the taxman. So you've only left your children
just 600.
600, right? Again, that's a massive downfall. However, if you got £1 million property investment portfolio and you have 75% loan on that £1 million portfolio, which is 750,000, and your equity is 250 at that point, 250,000, the government would only tax you on the £250,000. So now, 40% of that is how much? Let me show you. So 250 times 40%, 100,000. Versus £400,000. So in essence, you saved your family £300,000. So that's the reason why entrepreneurs, property investors don't pay down their mortgage. Only if that happened in case, because you might be driving, something happened, you had accident, you could do anything, or you passed away, you paid all your mortgage, then obviously the taxman will be laughing. They'll be sympathizing with your family a little bit, and then let's look at the portfolio now. £400,000 gone. Okay, so hence again, it is better to have it as a debt, and that's what we call good debt, because us Africans or ethnic minorities are worried about debt. The debt that we need to be worried about is debt we take on to go on holiday, debt we take on to buy cars, debt we take on to please people. But debt that the tenant will pay for, I wouldn't worry about that, because it's a good debt.
The debt you take to marry. It's very common. Debt
Is
for
it?
burial. People go borrow for burial.
Exactly. So that's a bad debt. You know, the person is gone. I know, give them a dignity going anyways, but no need to go and spend loads of money, right? You can reinvest that money. So again, that's how you make money work a lot harder for you. And obviously, you're not leveraging at that point, isn't it? If you don't have a mortgage, you're not leveraging. You're sitting on £100,000 property, for example, paid it all, getting the same rent. You can go and remortgage that property, get 75%. You can go and buy 3 more £100,000 houses. That then gives you 4 houses, right? If each house is making you £400 a profit a month, you're talking about £1,600 a month. Passive income, right? That's how investors do, especially me. That's how I'll be able to make lots of money, right? Instead of having all my money in one house, paying all of it, I'll spread it out. £400 every month, times those 4 houses, £1,600, whilst I'm sitting on my laptop doing whatever I want to do. So that's how you make money work for you, instead of you working for it.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, good. Any question?
Okay,
Good. Brilliant. That's how you make money work for you, instead of you working for it.